Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports. You are fully appreciated if you are here for another session of boxing talk, my people. And in this round, my guys, this round, I just want to cover the fights that took place on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol in their undisputed light heavyweight showdown. My people, we all know the results now. Beterbiev coming away in that instance with a unanimous decision win over Dmitry Bivol. I am calling no robbery on that, my people. Definitely the right man won. Although both fighters put up a great show, put up a thrilling show for all of us and made history. After Beterbiev becoming the very first undisputed champion in 2 decades, my guy, since the great Roy Jones Jr., my people. And a record set also by Dmitry Bivol. He was the very first man to put an end, my guys, to put an end to Beterbiev's 20 KOs. He put a stop to that streak there. He put a stop to Beterbiev's 20 KO streak in 20 fights. That's a perfect KO record there that Bivol put a stop to, my people, and that in itself is super. Goes to tell you the caliber, my guys. the caliber of the two fighters in the ring, my guys, my people. But yeah, with that said though, let's just move swiftly to the undercard, which involved a fight with Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron. We also had Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark. We had Jai Opetaia versus Jack Massey, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Camille Zaramata, and lastly, but not least, Sky Nicholson versus Raven Chapman, my people. So let's just get right into it, my people. And I think I should start with Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron, my guys. Ben Whittaker coming into this fight, a lot of hype around him as a future prospect. Well, he is a prospect right now, but he's predicted to be a future problem in the division, a possible future champion also. So however though, this fight with Liam Cameron would have been his first real step up, his first real test, to tell you the truth. Liam Cameron, 33 years old, following up to this fight, has 23 wins on his record, 6 losses, no draws, my guys. And out of his 23 wins, only 10 KOs, my people. So no power, no power, my guys, says the record. Well, we shall see. And Ben Whittaker, the great prospect everybody's talking about. Well, this fight actually showed how great he really was. I mean, Whittaker came into this fight 27 years old, 8 wins on his record. Out of those 8 wins, 5 coming via KO, no losses, no draws. So undefeated, my people. So let's go into the fight, which was the actual test, a test on what Ben Whittaker's actual level of talent really is, my guys. And we are about to find out, because you know, Ben Whittaker in the very first round, strangely enough, the hype around him was because of his flamboyant style, his very fan friendly style, almost like a dancer in a ring. That's the best description I've got for him. Although he kind of admires the great fighter in Prince Nassim Ahmed, and his style seems to kind of have been heavily influenced by Prince Nassim. But when he came into this fight, he came in like a real traditional boxer, traditional stance, and he was using it very well in that first round. Real snappy jabs, very swift footwork, speed of hands, speed of foot, and he was punching good, great combinations, landing also. But one thing I did notice, even though Whittaker seemed like he was sitting down on his punches, they were not affecting Liam Cameron at all, who had that high peekaboo guard and was just steadily, slowly but surely, just marching forward towards Ben Whittaker. However, though, Ben Whittaker ended that round very well, did a lot of work in that first round, possibly exerted too much energy, if you ask me. In the second round, however, he carried on the same pattern of work, still though having no effect on Liam Cameron, who, like I said, had that peekaboo guard, real tight on the defense, stepping forward, my people, some landing, some not landing. However, he was landing shots of his own, but this is where the trouble came with Ben Whittaker, and you could see it straight away whenever Cameron landed on Whittaker. You could just see that he was not feeling getting touched up at all, my people. I mean, especially to the body, my guys. As he got a weak midsection, we should be asking that question now. Also, does he have a good chin? How durable is he? Because, like I said, he was not taking the punches very well at all. Very noticeable. Too early in the fight, second round, my people. And, Cameron took that second round, fighting the same way, knowing when to keep his guard up, wait for Whittaker to finish punching, and then he will counter, reply with his own set of combinations. And where Cameron lacked speed and he lacked the swift footwork, he doesn't have great footwork as such, but he plods forward methodically. But he, however, though, makes up in experience, my guys, and punch placement, and that was what was key in this fight, my people. The punch placement in when you compare it to how Whittaker was placing his punches, he was more or less rushing them, my people. So not properly digging in the punches as well as he should have, and that lost him every round from round 2 all the way to round 5, where the fight ended through a great escape, well planned by Ben Whittaker, I have to say. Just before the bell in that 5th round, Liam Cameron and Ben Whittaker got into a clinch. Liam Cameron not even pushed him, he walked him. And the way Whittaker showed zero resistance, you could just tell that he wanted to meet the ropes. As he got to the ropes, he just I don't know what he was doing, but he pulled his head back, his whole body he pulled back, and pulled Cameron along with him, causing both of them to flip over the ring and outside of the ring, landing with both their feet in the air. They both landed on their backs, actually. But surprisingly, when they both came apart, Whittaker was complaining of his foot. did he break his foot? I don't know what happened. How could you land on your back and hurt your foot? To me, it looked like a well planned escape, because I think not only was he getting hurt by those punches, but what was hurting him the most here was the embarrassment that came with it. Because in that first round, yeah, Whittaker, yeah, I think he was trying to blow. You thought he was gonna blow Liam Cameron out of the ring that night. You thought he was just gonna blow him out, yeah, and it did not happen. In fact, it seemed like he was the one. He was the one getting the punishment, and I felt like he was majorly embarrassed there, and he needed to find a way out. And I know nobody else has said this, but if the fight had continued, Ben Whittaker would have most definitely lost, because no way he's getting a knockout versus Liam Cameron. Whittaker didn't have any power. Evidently, in that fight, his record also shows it. So there you go. He was fully exposed. With that performance, he's not a problem in the light heavyweight division, where you know the names in that division. You know, they got no problem with Ben Whittaker. He's most definitely not a future champion with that style of fighting. Even with his flamboyant style, somebody's going to stop that bullshit real soon. And I called this. I said to myself, I said in one of my videos to you guys that what if he meets a proper experienced boxer that knows what he's doing in there. And if Ben Whittaker's flamboyant style doesn't work, then what is he going to revert to? And this fight explained everything, gave us all the answers, my guys. And the answer is that when he can't display his flamboyant style, he has no answers, my guys. And that is it. Full stop. Liam Cameron needs a rematch because he was robbed in that fight. Judges calling it a draw. I did not see a draw, my guys. Liam Cameron most definitely won that fight, and the result should have reflected that. The result should have reflected that. So definitely Liam Cameron needs a rematch. He knows his opponent well enough now, and he'll probably take him out next time. Hopefully not. Maybe Whittaker comes up with a better game plan. But as it is, as of now, my conclusion on Ben Whittaker is he got exposed. So with that said, I'm going to move swiftly to the next fight, my people. And the next one I really want to look at is, of course, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Kamil Szeremeta, my people. And that fight there, a lot of people, including myself, we had our set of complaints. The main one being is that Chris Eubank at this stage of his career should be facing more credible opponents, my people. Szeremeta is not really that opponent right now. For my lights is messing up. Yeah, it's not the right opponent right now that would test Chris Eubank Jr. and take him to the next level. Chris Eubank Jr. I believe is how old is Chris Eubank Jr. now? How old is he? He's about 33, 34 years old anyway. Kamil Szeremeta, age 35 coming into this fight. Well, before this fight, he had 24 wins on his record. He had 2 losses, my people, and also had 2 draws. out of his 25 wins, my people. So he had 25 wins. Out of his 25 wins, only 8 KOs. So really lacking in power. Massively lacking in power. Kamil Jarimata got finished by a very old Gennady Golovkin. Also got finished by Hyman Munguia, my guys, in the was it 7th and 6th round, respectively. Munguia getting rid of him in the 6th round, and then Gennady Golovkin in the 7th round, my people. But since then, apart from losing to those two fighters, Jarimata has done absolutely nothing, my guys. As you can tell by his record, he's done absolutely zero. So not a great matchup for Eubank at this point at all, especially when there's been talks of him fighting the likes of Conor Ben and Canelo Alvarez, my people. So Kamil Jarimata is a big step down. Also, with the fact that Chris Eubank is coming off a win, a KO win versus Liam Smith, my people, who is a big puncher, my guys. And so a big step down indeed by Chris Eubank Jr., who explained to the press, to the media, us fans, that this fight in fact is just to brush off the cobwebs after being out of action for a year since beating Liam Smith. Liam Smith, who previously had KO'd Eubank Jr. However, in very controversial though, the replay in slow motion showed an elbow that caused that knockout for Liam Smith. But like I said, Eubank Jr. did avenge that loss and came back this weekend to face Kamil Jarimata, my guys. And in that fight, Chris Eubank started very well, looking very sharp with the jab. That first round was one of the best first rounds I've seen Chris Eubank in a very long time, my people. And used that jab to set up a right hand and knocked down Jarimata in the very first round, my people. Jarimata looked clearly hurt by that punch. It was a very hard, flush, straight right hand, which Eubank actually put his whole body into that punch. And the way Jarimata fell, I was very surprised that he actually got back up. So kudos for Jarimata, my people. And Eubank could have actually finished him in that first round, but you know, old habits are hard to get rid of, and Eubank just started trying to throw a flurry, you know, looking very ragged when he's throwing his flurries, just haphazardly, my guys, and in reckless abandonment of defense as well. And he actually got caught by a right hand by Jarimata that threw Eubank back a couple yards, my guys. And he clearly felt that punch. You could tell from the reaction in his face, you know. But thank God, thank God, you know, in his case, well, not for me. he should be thanking God that Jarimata does not pack the power to actually knock him down with one punch. So yeah, the fight continued in the second round. As we know, Chris Eubank likes to throw 1 million uppercuts in a round, and it was no different in the second round. He just got uppercut happy, my people. He got high on uppercut, lemonade, Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it. It was in his blood, and he was just throwing uppercuts here and there, combinations, just looking very sloppy, to tell you the truth, man. How he started with the jab and setting up the punch, that would have worked much better. But I believe because he got the knockdown in the first round, he was trying his damn near hardest to get Camille Zorimata out of there, but he was just going about it the wrong way. And when I say he was haphazard, though, in his operation, I don't mean that the punches were not landing, but it just seemed like he was putting way too much effort into getting the knockdown and not really thinking about what he was actually doing and planning how he was going to get the KO. What he should have done instead is work behind the jab like he had started. He should have noticed that it was the jab that gave him that opportunity in the first round to get that right hand in to actually drop Zorimata. Initially, should have known he's experienced enough. And the same pattern of work continued from round to round to round up until the 6th round. So you know, the same flurry combinations, body. But one thing though, I did like his selection of punches. I liked Chris Eubank's selection of punches, you know. But through the rounds, he got caught a couple times really flush, because you know Chris Eubank, when he punches with his combinations, he always likes to keep his hands down. Even when he's up in a stance, his hands are down, you know. That is a big problem, to tell you the truth. I am not going to lie. And he was just rushing his work and not only that, he was also smothering his own work. Like when he would throw the combinations, he would lean in and get too close to his opponent. So essentially smothering his own work. You know, in the 6th round, however, though, with his efforts, you know, he still got a knockdown, a main body shot, 2 main body shots to Camille Zorimata, and then followed up with a right hand that dropped Zorimata. Dropped him again in the 6th round with a body shot, and then by that time I think he had realized that the body shot was really working for him and that Zorimata was weak to the midsection. So he finished off Zorimata with another body shot that kept him down. On the referee's count, Zorimata got up quick enough, but by that time he had had enough punishment, and you could just see the pain on his face. My guys, my people, he's gonna be pissing blood when he gets home, because those body shots were not a joke. And the referee, you know, you might as well say it was a mercy call, my people. Had mercy on Zorimata and stopped the fight there and then, and I think it was the right call, my people. That was in the 7th round. Was it in the 7th? Yeah, that was in the 7th round, my guys, because he dropped him once in the first, once again in the 6th, then twice in the 7th round. The last time he dropped him in the 7th round, that was when Eubank got the stoppage. So yeah, the fight ended there with the referee stopping the fight. Great call by the ref there. Another good win for Chris Eubank. However, looking at his performance, he's gonna have to do a whole lot better. If he's going to be fighting Conor Benn. I know right now everybody's making fun and jokes about Conor Benn because of the you know, the juicing and all that. Even his hairstyle the night of the fight, very strange, looking like Fonzie from Greece, crazy style. But anyway, he jumped in the ring and challenged Chris Eubank Jr. and verbally in the ring they agreed that they will be fighting next, and Eubank said, you better sign the contract. So he's gonna send the contract. So Ben, you better sign that contract. Ben doesn't mind stepping up 2 weight classes to me. Eubank at 160, my guys. Ben currently fights at 147, and that is going to be an epic fight. But with that you know, performance there against Camille Jeremata, where he's rushing his work, that is not going to work with Ben. I don't think so. Ben is a lot more a lot more disciplined and more in tune with his art and his craft than Jeremata is. He's also quicker. He's stronger, more skillful, by far in every way better than Jeremata. So he's gonna have to do a whole lot better if he's going to face Conor Ben. He's gonna have to use more of this rather than just brawn, trying to force his opponent out of the ring. He's gonna have to do a whole lot better than that. Especially also, he's planning to face the likes of Canelo Alvarez as well. So after he fights Conor Ben, hopefully we get that Eubank, we get that Canelo fight for him. You know, even though I don't think he really deserves it, but it's a big money fight and it's gonna be full of action because Eubank. One thing you know, one thing that you will know about him is that he always comes to fights. He always comes to fight and he throws regardless, whether win or lose, he's going to entertain you. And that's what fight fans like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Eubank versus Ben, Eubank versus Canelo also if it happens. But he has to improve when he faces Ben though, because Ben, regardless of what he's done or hasn't done outside of the ring, he's very, very talented, my people, and that has to be accepted wholly. So yeah, with that said though, I am done with talking about Eubank and Jeremata, and I would like to move on, my people, to the next one, my guys. So the next fight that I want to give you my take on is, of course, this one was a very, very short one. Very short one, my guys. Fabio Wardley versus Frazier Clark. I mean, their first meeting was a total thriller, man. It felt like a movie. Action packed, barn burner. I mean, everyone was at my yard watching that fight, and they nearly tore off the roof, my guys. The noise, wow, that was a big fight. Frazier getting knocked down early, but came out strong in the championship rounds. In fact, the second half of the fight was mostly Frazier. So both fighters purely entertained us and put their life on the line in that first fight. Like, they were both looking to kill each other in that fight. And Wardley got that mean cut on the bridge of his nose as well, so a bit of blood too. Yeah, in that first fight. But this was the rematch, my guys, and it didn't last long at all. Frazier came out good, came out jabbing good. Obviously looked like the more technically gifted fighter of the two. But what Fabio lacked in technical ability, he even lacks experience. He doesn't even have an amateur background. Fabio doesn't even have an amateur background, whereas Frazier, he's got quite a deep amateur background. So yeah, where Fabio lacked in amateur experience and even pro fights, he's not really had too many pro fights either. Neither fighters have had that many pro fights. But Fabio, especially what he lacked in experience, my guys, he really made up in aggression and power and desire, my guys. This man is full of desire. He wants to reach places, and he showed that tonight. Like I said, Frazier Clark started really well with working behind that jab, but not for too long, my guys, because in that very first round, out of nowhere, Fabio Wardley landed a mean overhand to the right side of Clark's. Just by his temple, landed a mean shot to Clark's temple that sent him all the way back to the one corner of the ring. He was clearly dazed and dazzled, bewildered, not knowing where he was, because at one point when Wardley when Fabio Wardley came to finish him with some flurries, I saw Clark turn his back for some reason, and I was thinking, why is he turning his back? I mean, protect yourself at all times. This is the professional this is the professional rankings, my guy. You're in a professional game now. This is the pros. Protect yourself. And the referee totally ignored the fact that Frazier Clark had turned his back, my guys, and Wardley, being being the killer that he is, he took total advantage, and he said it in the lead up to this fight. He said he's coming for the finish, and that's what he done. And to tell you the truth, that is one of the most scariest KOs I've ever seen delivered. Well, after backing up Frazier to one corner, he just started letting go some mean body shots. Those body shots were mad crazy, my guys, and then finished him off with a right hand to the skull that just had Frazier Clark droop down like curtains. He just drooped down like he had no bones, just like he was only made of skin, like he was melting. And if you saw his face looked like plastic. You know, like when someone has plastic surgery, yeah, and it's a really bad one, and then the face just, you know, hangs like a stroke patient. It looked like he had stroke in the ring, and it looked bad and scary, man. I thought something worse had happened to him, but man, I really hope he is okay, my people. I'm hearing now that he was rushed to hospital after, and is possibly still in hospital now. So yeah, I hope he's fine, and his family get to see the best of him again in full health, my people. That is yeah, my wishes going out for Frazier Clark, my people. And this is boxing, my guys. It's not a fun game. We don't play boxing. This is what can happen in boxing. Worse has happened before in the past, but that was a very scary KO. Easily could have killed the man. The power that Fabio Wardley possesses is demonic, my guys. It is totally demonic. I have to say, that's my best explanation for it, because that is scary. But who can he fight next, though? Who can he fight next? I think Jack Massey gave a good account of himself against Parker. Possibly he could go up against Parker, step up the levels. Parker is up there now in the heavyweight rankings. Fabio Wardley needs to be calling out Parker. Trust me, test that power on Parker. You know, another fighter I think he could test himself on is, of course, Joe Joyce, my guys. Very winnable fights for Fabio Wardley there. We saw Joe Joyce get destroyed 2 times by Zhilei Zhang, and in a fight that everybody had him the heavy favorite, expecting him to win versus Chisora, where was he? So yeah, I know one thing for a fact: Wardley is way more faster than Joe Joyce, my guys. So yeah, that would be his advantage in that fight. However, Joyce is a little bit more technically sound, you know, although he is quite stationary, quite easy target to hit. So that would be a good fight for Fabio Wardley. So I'm calling for Wardley. Wardley better start calling out Parker and start calling out Joe Joyce, my guys. We need that fight. We need that fight. You know what I'm saying? Both those fights, we need them. So yeah, Fabio, well done, mate. Done yourself proud on the night. Definitely got the KO that you wanted, even though it was scary. But great fight, my guy. So with that said, I am now done with Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark. On to the next one, my people. And the next one, bring them all in, my guys. Bring them in. The next one, of course, I got right here, Jai Opetaia versus Jack Massey, my guys, my people. Jai Opetaia, my people. 29 years old, Mr. Jai Opetaia, and he has, what is his record? What's Opetaia's record, my guys? Yes, so Jai Opetaia, he's 29 years old, like I have said. His record now 26. After beating Jack Massey, his record now reads 26 fights, 26 wins. Out of those 26 wins, 20 coming via KO, my guy. So the power is very, very, very evident, my people. Very, very evident. And he made quick work of Jack Massey, you know, melted him down like fire on plastic, my guys. Very, very quick work, you know. So yeah, Jack Massey, I don't have any memory of his record so far, but one thing I do know, that on his resume he put up a very, very great fight with Richard Riakpo, my guys, and he lost that fight via unanimous decision, my people. But he gave Riakpo hell in that fight, hell on earth, my people. He even went up to heavyweight and fought Joe Parker, good old Joseph Parker, my guy. He fought Joseph Parker to a decision, my people. Parker also beat him by decision, but he made a very, very hard fight for Parker. Hit Parker with some mean flush punches, my guy, even though he didn't come away with the win, my people. However, though, Jack Massey coming into this fight was not really, you know, there's no hype around him. It's not really a top rated cruiserweight at all. So this was a cruiserweight bout, another test for, of course, Jai Opetaia. Not his biggest test. His biggest test, of course, that was Marius Bradis, who he fought for the IBF world title against, and he beat Marius Bradis in their first fight, I believe, was in 2022. He beat Marius Bradis in 2022, and then almost 2 years later, and in this year, 2024, so they fought twice, and he beat him twice, my guys. First one to claim the IBF world cruiserweight title, and then later on 2024, this year, to defend that title against Marius Bradis, my people, who was Jai Opetaia's biggest test thus far. And Jack Massey, like I said, nothing on the level of a Bradis, but he does have the size, my guys. The man is huge. The size difference was very, very evident, although athletically not as gifted as Jai Opetaia, and his muscles are not that dense. He looks a bit loose, to tell you the truth. Yeah, but let's get right into the fight, though. Jai Opetaia, man, the one thing I have to say, The man is a complete specimen, my people. He is built from head to toe like a real warrior, my guy. You can just tell that this boy is born to be an athlete and nothing else. If not fighting, he's going to be an athlete of some sort, because he has speed, he has power, he has agility, he's got stamina too, good conditioning, but he needs to know how to manage that conditioning, you know, because as you saw in his first fight with Marius Bradis, and in the second fight also, the championship rounds, he was getting had up. He was getting had up like in the second part of the fight, you know. But I'm going to go into why that happens to him. You know, Jai Opetaia, there's a big hype around him as the best cruiserweight around right now, and I'm buying into that too. Because it is true. There's no real talent in the cruiserweight right now. The best talent there, possibly you could pick out this three. It's up to you. You got Zerdo Ramirez, you got Chris Billiam-Smith, and then Richard Riak. Well, you also got Noel McCullen. Is it McCullen or something like that? Yeah, but him, I don't even know his last name properly, but his first name is Noel. And then you got Chris Billiam-Smith holds the WBO title in the division. Zerdo Ramirez holds the WBA title, and then Mr. Noel McCullum, he holds the IBF title, I believe. Yeah, no, actually, Opetaia holds the IBF title. And what's the name? Mr. McCullum, Noel McCullum, holds the WBC. If my memory serves me right, I hope my brain is working properly today. Well, anyway, okay. So those are the champions in the division. I don't know who's the best out of them, but clearly Jai Opetaia stands out by far, miles. He will kill all of them in the ring. That's what I'm fearing, you know. But anyway, he put a brilliant performance against Jack Massey, my guys. Touched him to the body, head combinations, very, you know, great punch placement, good speed, showed great agility and good endurance for the rate that he was working at, because every punch was hard and mean. Every punch was the intent behind every punch was to go through the body, the skull of Jack Massey. You wanted to pierce his hand through his entire body, my guys. Like he wanted to punch through his body and just pull out his organs, his heart, something. You know, man, was it a bloody fight. He left Jack Massey looking like a bloody mess. But one thing about Jack Massey, he's just too tough for his own good. He wouldn't go down. And the fight lasted just 6 rounds, you know. And the corner, kudos to the corner. You have to throw in the towel when your fighter is just don't have any reply, my guy. And that is what they did in the 6th round. And of course, I'm not going to talk about this fight too much, because we all know what Jai Opetaia does, and he destroys his opponents. Yeah, but one thing I have to say about Jai though and Jack Massey is that Jack Massey didn't totally it wasn't a punching bag through and through. He did get in some shots of his own, which I saw to clearly trouble Opetaia. But you know, Opetaia being the more athletic, swift-footed fighter, the better combination puncher, better everything really. You know, Jack Massey was just no match for him, to tell you the truth. And Opetaia when you look at him though, one problem I have about his style, he loads up too much, my guy. He loads up too much, and he needs to learn how to go through the gears when throwing combinations. Don't just load up with power one time looking to just bulldoze your opponent. That is not always going to work with everybody. I mean, again, and also it saps your energy when you load up like that all the time. And I believe if Massey had lasted past that 6th round, maybe going up to 8, even to the early championship rounds, 9, 10 rounds, who knows, he would have been gassed. We all saw how he was in the Marius Brady's fight, my guy, and that was through the constant loading up, putting everything into every punch. You cannot fight like that, Mr. Jai Opetaia. His trainer needs to show him how to manage the rounds. Again, he's lacking a jab. He needs a jab. He needs a jab because his work, he puts combinations very well, but it doesn't flow very well because there's no jab in between. There's no jabs in between to how can I say, to connect the punches with. Like, for example, like a jab, right hand, a jab, then a hook and stuff like that, but and I also feel that I don't like the way he throws uppercuts, my guys. I don't like the way, it's not safe at all. He throws uppercuts in a very strange way, twists his body in a strange way that leaves his whole entire left side open. He likes to throw his uppercut with his right hand, leaves his whole entire left side open, and he throws it too far out. I saw that in the Marius Brady's fight, and then I saw that in this fight with Jack Massey. Sort it out, my friend. Your trainer is not training you properly, Jack Massey. I mean, Jai Opetaia. You need to tighten up your game and stop loading up all the time, because you're leaving yourself open to get countered. Every time you load up, you're wasting precious milliseconds. And it only takes a millisecond for another opponent to notice that little gap in you loading up and then smashing between your punch. So yeah, you need to save all that loading up. Yeah, it's not gonna work with everybody. I mean, after all, who has he actually fought that all this hype is around him? I know he's great. You can tell that he had the natural abilities and the punch. I mean, like I said, he's a specimen. He's a natural born athlete, but he needs to tighten up his boxing IQ, I believe. His fight IQ needs to increase. He's fought the likes of Marius Brady's, old Marius Brady's, that gave him issues in both fights. Blooded up his nose in the first fight. I mean, in the second fight on the Riyadh season card, blooded him up. Damn near almost finished him. And when he's hurt, it's like he doesn't know how to disguise it, and I think that's because he's exerted so much energy in the latter rounds, that he leaves himself open to get hurt, and the recovery is not that smooth, so yeah, he needs to sort that out. And also, what else I think he needs to sort out? Yeah, and I know I've spoken about the jab already, but it looks like he uses his left backhand to replace the jab. That is all good, but the thing about the left backhand, when you throw it, you're not in a position to connect with another punch or come with combinations. And it's like, if someone could just step back a little bit and make you miss by inches, you're too low down. And if they can see that you're so low down and and reaching, you're in a position where you're reaching. So if an opponent could just step back, make you miss just by inches, they can counter you, both head and body, and that is very, very dangerous It only takes someone with a good jab, athletic, someone with a decent, not even a great boxing IQ, a decent boxing IQ and decent power, good footwork and speed of hands. And Opetaia's got problems, my guy. He's got problems so far in the division. Thank God, nobody in the division right now has that. None of the champions do. Not even that's why Riakpo turned down a fight. His mandatory fight versus for the IBF, for Opetaia's IBF title. He turned it down flat out. Went for Chris Billiam-Smith thinking it's an easier fight and lost via unanimous decision. Chris Billiam-Smith also refused an offer from Jai Opetaia to fight. So now he's fighting Zerdo Ramirez. After that fight, hopefully they can get something done and make a unification about my people for the IBF and the WBO title in Jai Opetaia and Chris Billiam-Smith's possession respectively. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight, my people. But I'm done talking about Jai Opetaia and Chris Billiam-Smith now. And Jack Massey now. I'm done talking about that. That fight actually ended in the 6th round. The corner throwing in the towel, my people. So a mercy call by the corner there. But let's move on swiftly because this video is getting longer than what I even wanted it to be. To Sky Nicholson, to Raven Chapman. Very, very easy fight for Sky. Raven Chapman did nothing. She stayed outside, just fainting. I don't know what she was doing, bouncing around on the outside. What are you bouncing around on the outside for? Use your feet and slowly try to edge in so that you can get close. She was getting tagged all night with by Nicholson, fighting on the outside, tagging her with her left power hand, her backhand, and now and again she would leap in with hooks and be tagging Raven all night, my guys. And that continued up until the very, very scheduled 10th and last round. And rightfully so, we had Sky Nicholson winning via unanimous decision to retain her WBC featherweight title, my people. She really got no there's not that many tests for the great fighters, the really good fighters in female boxing, I have to admit. But I can see a fight with her and Baumgardner though. Baumgardner fights at super featherweight. It's only one division. She's undisputed there. I believe her and Nicholson will make a great matchup, my guys, because I think Baumgardner's got the foot, the swiftness of foot, quickness of hand to close the distance in Sky's style of fighting, and of course throw those combinations. And Sky also, when she's got fast hands also when you get close up. So it's not going to be I'm not saying it's going to be an easy fight, but I believe Baumgardner has got all the tools and power to get rid of Sky. I like Sky's style, but I just don't believe she's been truly been tested yet, to tell you the truth. Yeah, but with that said though, that's all I have for this session, my guys. You can catch me next time right here on Body and Mind Sports, my people. And as always, please, before you go, do like, do share, subscribe, and also drop your comments below, my people. And with that said, stay super blessed.